Hello and welcome back.
We are in a new space today and I'm so excited.
We're filming.
Like proper.
We're getting ready.
We have a backdrop.
We have a backdrop. It says our name. It says our fucking name. We're getting ready to be live on YouTube, TikTok.
We're going across
Reels.
all platforms.
We're fucking excited.
Yeah,
we have wanted to do this since like the beginning of recording.
Yeah, since the podcast.
Like show our faces.
Well, this is who we are.
Show the faces when we're making like bitchy ass comments.
Literally. But our episode today has a really cool name. What is it, Shay?
It is called, let me just make sure I don't fuck it up, Big Sister Brow Business Advice.
And this is something I feel like has been highly requested.
Yes.
But we also get like, I don't know, I'm sure you get them too, like the DMs asking like,
help.
Hey, like
Help.
I have a question, or like, well, how did you start? What did you do? Like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think
We're here to
putting it all
answer.
into like an episode is going to be so helpful.
Yes. And if there's anything you feel like we miss, let us know. Go to the
Definitely.
DMs, Barefaced and Naked, because we love also having ideas come through. Yeah. Yeah.
Any interaction with people as well.
Tell us any stories. We love reading out like anonymous stories as well. So let us know.
Speaking of stories, you in
Helina.
the car on the way here went to tell me something and she was literally like, save it for the podcast.
Wait, yeah, no.
And I was like,
because we love when we're just like reacting to shit actually on here.
Okay, so blind reaction right now.
All right. Had a new client come in.
Okay.
I feel like I could give you a little backstory because it was really funny, really different. She walks in really quiet, timid, little. She was from Hawaii, and so she walked in, beautiful accent, tiny.
Okay.
And I just put her in this really like quiet, shy box. She's just studying. She's done lots of traveling.
Yeah.
And it was really just like the first 10, 15 minutes, you know, asking the typical like, where are you from?
Yeah,
what are
what
you
do you
doing?
do?
So she's just studying. She lives in Brisbane.
Okay.
And I was like, so are you working as well while you're studying? She goes, yeah, I'm a dancer. And I was like, oh, that's sick. What sort of dancing are you doing? She goes, I normally just work at like, it was called like Kittens or like Meows. And I was like, or one was called like Daddy's Crib. And I was like,
Like a stripper.
oh, we're a stripper. And that immediately like broke the fucking glass. And I was like, sweet, here we go. Like dive into it. And that literally just like opened her up. She's like, yeah, well, like, so when I come in, you know, ball pussy, it's got to be like lasered down. If it's not, I'm getting sent. And I was like, whoa, okay. I'm
So
loving
she
this.
gets sent home.
Yeah, if she doesn't have a ball pussy. I was like, okay. So we're just like going at it.
Okay.
And then we were talking about like tips and stuff, you know, coming from America and how much they get paid and how much they rely on their tips. And I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever had more than like a $5 tip because I don't have change or they don't have change.
Yeah.
And so we kind of moved on from that. We were just having the best conversation, like getting deep. She had a boss who was called like Rapey Rick, like, and I was like, okay, so I'm learning a lot about the stripper lifestyle.
Bit of a ring to that name.
I loved it. And she had like $40 left to pay. And she hands me a $100 note. And I was like, oh, give me 2 secs. I'll just go get my purse. Then I can give you some change. And she starts walking. And she holds the door, give me a ransom. And she's like, if you don't take my tip, I'm not rebooking. And I was like, that's a $60 tip. I do not need that much.
It's like a whole Browz.
I'm like, let me put it on your file for next time. And she's holding the door like, if you don't take my tip, I'm not rebooking. And I was like, so you want me to keep the tip and you want to rebook? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Come in, come back.
Wow.
She was so cool. And I love when you just hit it off the bat with a new
Yeah.
client. You know, it took a few minutes and then it was really chill. And then she's like, yeah, ball pussy. And I was like, sweet, let's go.
Rapey Rick.
Daddy's meow crib. Like, we got this. So, that was like the biggest tip I had ever been given.
And probably one of the most interesting
Oh my
conversations
God.
you've
I was
ever
like,
had.
I'm going to remember you forever.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because a few days before I had just started following her on TikTok because she was just posting like, and it clicked a few days after.
True.
She had posted this like TikTok, like stripper sort of dance thing. And I was like, get a girlfriend. Like, I'll follow you.
Queen.
You're sick. Yeah. And then she came in. I didn't make any connection. A few days later, I'm like, wait, she's the one who just tipped me like $60 the other day. And I follow her. And now she's on TikTok and I love
I've never
her.
been tipped that. I don't think I've actually ever been.
We just
tipped
don't get
my
tipped in
life.
Australia,
No,
right?
it's not a thing. I wonder if like our American girls get
I see
tipped.
TikTok things and they're like service plus tip. And I'm like, you're getting like a $30 tip. That's insane to me.
Wow.
Insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, but I was just vibing.
That is really
vibing.
cool. That's really
I
cool.
had another client come in real quick. She walks in, bright pink hair, and I was like, oh, I love you. Like, she was just straight off the bat intense. And I was like, I'm here for this. And she walks in, she's like, yeah, me and my friend are wanting to start a podcast. We actually listen to Barefaced and Naked. And I was like, oh, sweet.
I love that.
And she, I was like, what do you want to call the podcast? She wanted to call it, what was it? Like yeast or not yeast? What's the other name for a yeast or a UTI?
Like it's yeast
Is
infection.
it just a yeast?
Yeast.
There was it was like that sort of thing. And I was like, shut up. And literally she had been in for 5 minutes. And then when we were off the bat, she was like, yeah, well, I got like a yeast infection the other day. And I was telling her this story of a friend who had a yeast infection. Turn this off if you have kids listening right now. Oh. She had a UTI and she needed some cream, you know, you get the Gaviscon or whatever it's called.
Definitely not Gaviscon. So definitely talking to a pharmacy student right now. What is it called? And it is not
the
Gaviscon.
Cream when you have a UTI. Well, anyway, so she put it on her boyfriend's dick. She's like, I need you to fuck me with this inside. No. Because, yeah, and that's what she said, it worked a wonder. And I was like, wow, magic.
I just have Ural when I have a UTI.
I've had one before and I was like a little cream thing, but I didn't ever think to like,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
She said it works magic. Okay. Anyway, that was just another experience of like a new client coming in and just off the bat, intense. I love them.
Our listeners are going to think we have crazy clients, honestly.
You get them every like blue moon where they're like, my pussy is bald. And I'm like, what?
Anyways, guys, going into the episode now because Shay is...
I was vibing. I'm like, you can come back.
Did Hawaii girl rebook?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If she tips you again, let me know because I'm coming down to do a Browz next time.
No, she was so lovely. Brow business advice.
Yes.
Hit me. What are we've got a few little topics to cover today.
Shall I kind of go over what we're going to talk about?
Yeah, come on. We don't ever do this.
I feel like we're going to go into signing contracts within the industry because I feel like we both have had
little fuck ups.
Almost
fuck ups.
Almost.
Yeah.
Business coaches because you've had one, I haven't. Renting brow rooms.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go into then home salon versus commercial salon because I'm home, you're commercial. Service pricing. We were having this chat on the way here.
It's so fun.
So interesting. So we're going to let you guys know what our prices are for new clients, regular clients.
Starting off prices.
Closing your books to new clients is a big thing. And then we're going to give like our probably like best advice to someone just starting out.
Yeah.
From
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get into it.
Okay, well, Helina, signing contracts. You and I have both had little incidents where it could have almost came back and bit us in the bum because we didn't read the contracts. And I think in my head...
Very much so.
In my head, when I've signed a contract, I'm like, you know, it's just the brow industry, just a little bit of work. Yeah. Like it's a very small, tiny industry, but it's getting a lot bigger and people are going to the big contracts. But also being young, I didn't realize the kind of the repercussions fucking signing a contract and putting your signature can actually have.
It's a literal legal binding document once you sign it.
Yeah. And even if it is just renting a room or, I don't know, doing someone's training, things like that.
Yeah.
It is a legal contract.
Definitely.
And what would your biggest advice be to signing a contract and you have no idea what you're reading?
It would be don't. Take it
First
to
off,
a solicitor or a lawyer.
Yep.
Like, yes, it's going to cost you, but it will save you money.
Save you money in the long run. Yeah.
So definitely that was my first fuck up. I didn't take a legal binding document to my solicitor. Yep. It was until after that I needed to get out of that contract that I then needed to go to a solicitor. And they literally said to me, why did you not bring this to me before you signed it?
They're like, so you signed here? And you're like, wait, what?
And I was like,
did.
Oh. And they're like, you agreed to this term and condition? And you're like, I did.
And so yeah, you did because your fucking signature's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely would be like, I read it though. And I'm like, I had no idea what half of it meant.
You're just skimming over.
Yeah, exactly. And then I then was like, all right, like I need to go to a solicitor. And yes, it cost me like.
How much? How much in fees?
For this like one time that I needed to get out of a contract, I think it was like about $2,500.
Okay.
Because it's not just a matter of going there and like sitting with the solicitor. It's then the solicitor making contact with that other party, and then every email that goes back and forth costs you money.
Crazy.
But in saying that, it's worth it because that money that I had to spend would have been like quadrupled if I stayed
you'd just be getting fucked over.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, it was definitely worth it. But that would be my biggest thing with signing contracts. And like, it might sound like all great when it's first happening, but definitely look into it.
Sometimes it's just too good to be true.
Yeah. What about you? Have you ever had
one instance where I had a little freak out?
Okay.
And I'm not going to go into too much detail because we just don't know who's
legally.
listening.
I don't think we're allowed. Yeah.
But I remember getting ready for a little training thing and everyone else was signing and I was like, sweet, they're handing out pen and paper, just sign here, sign, they're like initial every page, kind of a red flag, like good for them because but like I was like, okay, SR. Yeah. And I ended up taking photos of the documents, but I didn't even look. I've still signed it and I still took photos and then went away and then I was like, a few months later,
playing on
my mind, those things coming up, and I was like, "What did I actually sign?" Like, I forgot I had those photos, but then I found the photos, and I was like, "Wow, they could bring these back up and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah." They could try and for whatever reason they would be silly too." But I didn't know what I was signing, and I was like, "Haha, everyone else is." Tee. But also, we were put on the spot. Like, you can't walk in that door unless you signed. There were some things there that I shouldn't have signed whatsoever because it comes back to my business, and I'm like, oh, that was so dumb. And I was stressing for just out of nowhere. Yeah. Like there wasn't anything kind of that was going to stress me
about, but
I was just like, Shanae, that was so dumb. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
So definitely moving forward, still take photos of the documents. I think that's always a good idea, but don't sign it, then take a photo.
I just think if you feel uncomfortable about it, literally like
you don't have to sign there.
And just show someone. Like I also learned, I don't know if it's like, we're not lawyers by the way, guys. So don't like take this with like a grain of salt. But it's like, I know that some documents need to have a witness to them as well. So that was another thing that got me out of my other situation. Yeah. Was I was just a like 20-year-old.
Yes.
That just
signed
it.
And I think if you don't have a lawyer who you can contact in the next 24 hours or whatever, send it to your mum or send it to your dad. Send it to someone who's in business, someone who knows what they're looking at with contracts. Yeah. Anyone's got a better idea than probably you. So just send it and be like, hey, what do you think? Yeah. And if they've got a slight inkling, because if there's take it somewhere.
Yeah, if there's contracts involved, you usually mean that there's like a silver lining. Like it's obviously something that you want or that person wants from you. Yep. So there's always going to be like almost an ultimatum to it. Yeah. So definitely that is definitely a big thing.
I've definitely learned as well, when someone does have, like, say if you're doing a 1-day training course or you're doing just one little thing, if they've got like a binder for you to sign, red flag, run. Maybe let's go the other way. Just keep that in mind. That's kind of like the overall advice we would give for that one.
Like it's so true. Yeah.
Helina, business coaches. Yeah. Now I've had two. I've had some great experiences. I've done a lot of discovery calls with other business coaches as well. Yeah. What are your thoughts on business coaches?
I've never had one.
Okay. Is there a reason or you just haven't thought about it?
Definitely thought about it. I've put a deposit down for one.
Okay.
So I went, it was maybe 2 years ago now, and I put a deposit down for a business coach that was way too expensive for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I literally knew signing up that there was no way that I could pay it. And then she was like giving me all of these like pay-as-you-go options. The interest on them was insane.
Okay.
And I'm not someone who usually picks up on that. Yeah. So yeah, that was one thing. But I think I'm really fortunate in a way where I've got a lot of my family that are in business. I've got you who's in the same industry as me. I've got heaps of friends who have got their own business as well. So I feel like I'm someone who like learns off other people and like can pick up. Like that's how I learned to do eyebrows was from Instagram, really. So I think when I was like, okay, like I've kind of made it this far without one, but I have actually been looking. I wouldn't say a business coach per se. It's more I want someone that's like not a life coach, but like that I've got one that I'm kind of working with nearly, fingers crossed.
Okay.
But it's like it's business, but it's like also kind of like what can I achieve with my business as well as like my personal life.
Yeah, nice.
Because obviously we all know I've recently had weight loss surgery and then obviously seeing the differences in my body and like my energy already. I'm like, I want to work on like my own energy and stuff like that.
I love that.
I got a lot of clients who are super spiritual as well.
Okay.
Which I love.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, work
Bring
on
it
that
on.
with you guys. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tricky one with business coaches in our industry too.
It is.
Because it's like XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've done XYZ and then they'll do XYZ with someone else.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you take the reins on this because I'm speaking yeah. So talk to me. So I know, we all know you currently have a business coach.
Yes. I've been very hush-hush on this business coach as well.
And like we're not sharing info on that business coach.
No. And I don't.
Why not?
I don't want to upset anyone in this who might be listening. With my first business coach, I was so excited, so proud, smashing goals.
Yeah, proper.
I had a great experience with my first business coach, and I was very open with who I was working with. Yeah. Really great. A lot of people also jumped on with her. I think she got a lot of business, which is incredible.
Yeah,
love
which is
that.
Awesome.
But then I also found that my blueprint was given to everyone else's the blueprint, and you can just see the steps of my steps that we did together because I don't think she had someone in the brown industry like me, and then I feel like it was very cut and paste for others as well. Yeah, right. And that was kind of a bit of and that's totally fine. That's up to her and how she runs her business. Yeah. She's making bank. Love that.
Love that for
Helping
her.
people. Love that. But it was kind of a meh moment for me being like, oh, I did all the hard work and I kind of created these plans and I feel like a lot of people were just following my exact footsteps, which is so fine.
But in a way,
I was like, okay, lesson learned. All right. So when I went a few months looking for my next one because I had such a great experience with my first one. I really did. My business was not the same from when I first took her on board. I had her for 6 months. I skyrocketed in those 6 months. I really did. Like 100%. I learned a lot of stuff from her.
Can I ask, are you allowed to disclose how much you spent on that business coach?
I don't know. I signed stuff. I don't know. I could say ballpark figures, I guess.
Ballpark.
And I'm assuming her price has gone up, so don't hold me to this. And also doing more research, she was cheap.
Yeah, okay.
So because I've done a lot more discoveries. It was roughly between 8 and 10
grand
for 6 months. Yep, roughly around there. My recent one though, who I actually haven't really named, I have her for 3 months. 15.
Has it been 3 months already?
Nearly is.
So is it the 3 months was 15K?
Yeah. Whole new ball game of what the last business coach taught. It was a lot more to do with spiritual connections and I don't really want to give too much because I paid a lot more for her and I really wanted to keep her for me.
Of course.
I've had a lot of people also reach out and be like, hey, like business coach ideas, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, they're great. If you're ready for one, you're willing to pay. You're not going to go broke paying for one and you're ready to literally dive in.
I think that was for me because I was like, this was like way back, like nearly 2 years ago, I looked at a business coach. Yeah. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I felt like I saw like a lot of other people with it and I felt like I didn't have my own identity in the industry
you sort of
yet.
jump on. Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I need one to create Bareface, Browz.
You don't.
More.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't know, like I felt like really proud of myself for getting as far as I have without one.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely excited.
I was kind of always sitting there. I was like, what's the next thing? And I knew all these things, what I wanted to do, but I needed clarity and help getting to the next step and making it better, making it bigger. And I kind of felt really kind of stuck in a spot. Yeah. So that's when I reached out to my first one, grew a fuckload, had amazing results with her. Then I was looking for my next one, also grown and learned a lot from her as well.
How do you like leave a business coach? Like, do you have to like?
Well, you do your time's up. Yeah. 6 months for me was a long time.
But when you leave, is it just like bon voyage? Or is it like you just
it depends on the kind of what they say like, you can have. Yeah.
Has it been different with different business coaches? Like,
yeah. Okay. And it's really interesting. I did a lot of discovery calls. Like, I don't know if anyone knows what discovery call is.
I feel like it's
like a 15-minute Zoom call, like, hey, 30 minutes.
Shay.
Yeah. What are your business? Are we going to be aligned together?
Yeah, definitely.
And I probably had about 10 discovery calls before I took on my next one.
Like speed dating.
Yeah, speed dating. But there was something that I just didn't align with all of them. And I got to one, she was probably 20,000 for 3 months. And I was like, it's not right. It's not right. It's not it. Something just wasn't like 100% yes.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then I found my next one and it was immediate, like, yes, I love her. She's young, she's an entrepreneur, and she's just got this whole world of kind of knowledge that I hadn't even tapped into.
That's amazing.
And she was doing courses, and the education side is something I'm really interested in. So we kind of dived into that. Fucking loved it. I've got a few more weeks with her.
Yeah.
But I've loved my time with her.
So do you think that you'll continue on with her afterwards?
No, I feel like I've learnt, I don't think keep to one.
Yeah.
That's why, again, 6 months was a long time. I was ready to kind of reach out and see what else was out there. But I was like, I've still got another 2 months, you know?
Yeah, true.
So I think 3 month intervals are great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you get lots done in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't get one for a while. I've got a lot of ideas that I know how to now go forward with them.
Navigate through, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, sweet, let's do it. Let's go
Love
with it.
that.
Yeah, but I had a great experience with both.
I love that.
There's
So
no
you're
red blood.
offering, like with your new class that you're doing, it's like some type of business coaching is involved?
Mentoring I like to kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving that. I have 5 girls I'm working with over 6 weeks, and they have me at like any call of any day, and they'll be like, Shay, I've got this client coming up. I don't know what color to use, or I've just taken a photo of them. What do you think? I can literally get on and be like, oh, love that, but what I would do is blah and change that up.
Yeah.
I'm loving that, literally like on the back end of being like, hi, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So no, it's been really cool.
That's
and
amazing.
I love business coaching. So now being able to offer that for people
Is
around the
like a
world.
whole other thing, yeah.
Love it.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, loving it.
Now, next one is renting brow rooms.
Yes.
We've both rented rooms before, and let's start with you.
Okay.
So
I remember feeling like I was ready to get a brow room probably a year and a half into my business.
you were working at home,
At
right?
home. Loved it. But then I remember there was this one day I was like, oh, I want to get out. It was just
Epiphany.
let's go. I'm
Yeah.
done in the home salon. I want to
Yeah.
go. I kind of felt that I got a bit flat working at home as well. You know, it's so convenient and so easy. But then I was like, I'm ready for a new space. I'm ready to travel to work, and work be work, home be home.
Yeah.
And I was ready for a set schedule, because then I was like, I'm open at any time. I'm always home. And I was burning out. Yes. Even if you are working from home, you can absolutely have a set schedule.
Definitely.
But I didn't back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, I want to move out. I also wanted to get out of my area. I felt like I was in a really small little zone. I was far off the highway, you know, it wasn't just a 2-minute drive, and I wanted to get a little bit further to the central of Gold Coast.
Okay.
So I wanted to go to Robina. Knew I loved Robina. I looked, oh God, probably about 10 different places.
Rooms.
And, you know, you'd find them on Facebook, you'd find them on beauty groups, you would see them posting on their socials, and you're like, sweet, can I come and look at it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what your style is and your aesthetics and what you want for a room. And I think you need to know that you need to have like your 5 must-haves, like what sort of flooring, is it a door, is it an open space, do you have aircon, do you have a window, like things like that. Know what you want.
Yeah.
And I knew what I wanted, and I was going to all these places, and it might have been like a bed in the corner, or, you know, a tiny shoebox, or there was no aircon, or there wasn't any window. And I was like,
aircon,
or
that's
the
not
reception
bad.
was a mess, or it was too crazy. I did not want a hair salon. I was like, I don't want craziness. So went to all these different ones, and I was like, no. I ended up going to one place, and I actually really liked it. I remember thinking there was something inside of me like, nah, it's not the be all and end all, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. And it was like $350 a week.
Pardon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this was me for like first. I was still like, you know,
Babes,
fresh.
that's a lot of eyebrows.
That's a lot of money.
Back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So that was a lot.
How, like a little room, or like
I think it was 2 by 3.
$1 a square meter?
Yeah. It was crazy.
$1 a centimeter.
So signed. I was like, sweet. We're gonna get
signed.
started. Well, we didn't sign. There was no contracts involved.
Okay.
Kind of another little red flag, but at least it wasn't a binder. We'll take it.
And
she was like, sweet, just $350 paid cash. And I was like,
Oh.
I won't pay cash. No.
I can't.
She actually, her red flag, it was, you can pay $300 a week in cash or $350 transfer, because she didn't want to pay GST.
Obviously.
And I was like, oh, that's a bit cheeky. And I was like, no, I need to make sure this is showing statements wise, so no one in here gets in trouble. But then COVID happened, and I didn't end up starting when I was going to start.
Thank you,
and
COVID.
we didn't know how long it was going to be. And so
Yeah.
she said, hey, you still need to pay. And I was like, baby girl, I haven't even started. I don't have any money. I got no money. Like, I'm still fresh working for myself. I got nothing. And it was a little bit awkward, but she was like, okay, just bring the key back, get your stuff out. Like, my stuff, I was ready. I was packed in there. I'd got my barber chair, dropped it off. I was ready to start. So she's like, drop the key, get your stuff, and you can leave. And I was like, okay, so that's fine.
Were you like upset?
I dodged a bullet.
Okay, yeah.
I remember feeling this isn't 100%. We had to go through like a long ass corridor to get there. Like, it was at the back. It was a small shoebox, $350 a week. It wasn't it. And then I just kept looking through that COVID time. I knew I was like, when we get out of this COVID situation, I want to be in a spot. I want to be in Robina. I wanted to be in Robina, and I wanted to be in a rental. And then I found my place that I was at just for this, which was amazing, which was Kate from Unique Blends.
We love Kate. We love Kate.
It was the best renting experience I could have possibly had.
Yeah.
The room was perfect. It was a quiet salon. The reception area was gorgeous. Kate was fucking incredible.
Kate's amazing.
And it was such a reasonable price as well.
Yeah.
So signed there, and the moment I got into Robina, the moment I opened up from COVID, again, business skyrocketed.
Busy.
It was insane. And it's just been going up ever since then.
Yeah.
So I would never go back into my home. Like, moving to a different area and getting a home, I feel like were two really major things for me.
Yeah.
And then obviously I got my own salon now. So
exactly.
never going home. But yeah, I loved renting with Kate, but I had to go through all those other little dingies to find her. But my intuition was like, this is the one. Yes, listen, go. So I loved that.
Good.
Yeah, that's my renting experience. Hit me with yours.
I feel like mine was so cruisy compared to yours. Like, obviously I was originally working from my car.
Yes.
back in the day. And then from my car, like, I had one of my girlfriends who owns a hair salon, Chelsea, who owns Bungalow Hair. Yeah.
Also, your hair does look amazing. You just went
had
recently.
it done. I know, how good does
Done.
it look? So yeah, I was doing like her Browz, and we went to school with each other, and so she was like following my business and whatnot. And I'll never forget, it was like, because I used to have, from my pharmacy job, I used to have every Friday and Saturday off work. So then Friday and Saturday, I'd be driving around doing everyone's eyebrows. So then
on the road,
she was on the road. And then I'll never forget, it was like 4:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. I just finished my round trip of like, I had like 4 clients in a day, but it was like, there was like 40 minutes.
Were they spread out?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So like, it wasn't great. Not ideal.
Yeah.
I look back now and I'm like, how did I do that?
Stop that.
Anyway, so then I was sitting in the car at Woolies, and I got a message from Chelsea, and she's like, surely you're not loving driving around doing everyone's eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, I don't mind. Like, I'm just breaking into it. Like, I'm just seeing if it's for me. She's like, Helina, like, come. So Chelsea had like, when I tell you,
it was tiny. I've seen the photos.
I couldn't fit
Helena,
a brown bed in it. So there was a barber chair, and I put the barber chair on the side of the road.
Nice.
In the middle.
You're coming home with me.
She was no Confortel furniture one. So it was in the middle of the room. And to actually maneuver myself around the room, I had to move the client around the room.
So you were stationed in a corner.
Yeah.
And they rotated.
Yeah.
I love
that. But I had to rotate with them to be able to do their eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, but I went there and I looked, and I took my dad with me and my stepmom, and I was like, I want to do it. Like, I was like, how cool to have a place that people actually come to me. But my first initial thought was, do I want to take the leap of taking away like the mobile service to people? Because like, everyone's like, oh my God, amazing. Like, you come to my house, and it's good, but it's like,
it's great for them.
You got to think about it. Like, I then travel there from work. I had no clients on the sunny coast where I live. So I was driving back down to like North Brisbane every night and every day after work, and then on the weekend. And then like when I'd get there, I'd haul in this big bed and a ring light, but I'd have to then plug in my wax.
The wax
pot.
isn't ready.
The wax isn't on. It's hard wax. So yeah, it was just like a whole thing. Like, I was genuinely
like a 30-minute setup.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm back there like twiddling my thumbs waiting for the wax. Anyways, so then Chelsea was like, just come in and just like start. And I was like, I'm really nervous, because I'm like, what happens if like...
What were you paying for the shoebox?
$25 Chelsea only wanted. And like, you know what? Like, that's a true friend.
Yeah.
Like, because she was like, because she was just like, just stay, like, just do it. Like, she wasn't going to charge me. I was like, no, please.
Oh, bless her.
So, like, because I was there 2 days a week, it was $50 a week for her. But this is like way back in the day. Her rates have definitely gone up, everyone. So please don't
go asking for the shoebox for 25 an hour.
She's not doing that for you. But yeah, like, it was just like a friend looking out for a friend. And so then I ended up, I was in like the smaller room, and then Chelsea and her mum were like, you are so busy. And I was like, yeah, I'm actually getting really busy. Because like,
why didn't you ever move out into like her hairdressing space? Because
that just wasn't. It just wasn't room. Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't like, that's hair, you can only get the box.
Well, it's a cute box, okay. But like, Chelsea's got 2 basins and 4 chairs, so it's like a massive hair salon, really. Okay. But then her back room she wasn't using. So then when I was gonna start tattooing, her mum and I think we went halves in it. I can't remember. We lifted up the carpet in the back and put floorboards down.
Nice.
And then I was at I'll never forget it. I was at my like tattoo course doing that, and she's like, yeah, so you need a sink in there. I was like, oh, fuck.
You're just thinking like, I think there's something about the floor,
you can't have
skirting.
cracks, or it needs to be smooth surfaces, really, and you have to have a sink in there.
Yeah.
Hygiene reasons, obviously, like now that I've done my like
duh, Fred. Yeah, but we didn't know that.
No,
yeah.
And I'm there going, fuck. I've just paid like $5,500 for this course, and
I can't do it in my room.
I can't even actually do it. So yeah, a little bit sad that was. But yeah, and then fast forward, and I'm at home now. So it was just like, yeah, it was a wild ride. Now I look back on it, but like renting a room, it is a great start. And you know what? Like
it is.
It's just, it helps you get out there a bit more. You have the exposure from another business.
Walking in, what are they doing down there?
Exactly, yeah. So no, I enjoyed my renting experience, and I'm forever grateful for Chelsea and her mum Jo for giving me the opportunity to actually go in, because I was a little brow girl with no idea what the heck I was doing. So it was amazing.
What was the first products you started with in that little, like, what was the OG products?
Brow Code,
tint and wax.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay.
I think I used Brow Code wax for like a solid 2 years.
Yeah.
And then
you have been a Brow Code.
I'm a Brow Code gal.
Yeah.
You know I love my Brow Code. But like, I only use like the tints and I don't really use the wax anymore. I use the tints still.
You used to be a wax fan.
Yeah. But like now I'm strip wax gal.
Welcome.
But then the pencils, like the Brow Code eyebrow pencils. Okay. I love them too.
Okay, fun.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's us. That's with the renting.
Are you happy to still be in a home salon? Do you ever get days where you're like, I wish I could go to work, or I can't separate work?
The butter story made me want to
you're like,
not be. Oh my God, I had someone send me. Oh, what was her name? I think it was Taylor. Sorry if I forgot your name. Send me this meme of like, it was like a meme from The Office.
Yeah.
You know the show The Office?
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's like comes barging into a room, does like a backflip on the couch and like a cartwheel.
Parkour. Yeah. The parkour.
Yeah. So
with the butter.
She literally was like, I don't know why, but I thought of the butter kid. And I was like, amazing. There is definitely days like that I do wish that I could just like drive to a salon and then do my work there, drive home. But then there's also some days where I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I work from home. Yeah. Like I'm so thankful that I work from home.
Positives and negatives in
Very
both.
much so.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Do you ever look for salon spaces?
Yeah.
Like you're on the hunt?
I've had my eye on one for the last year and a half.
Okay.
And you know
is it the one
it
that
is.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
Which is fucking massive and incredible.
You literally said to me,
what
Helina,
was the rental on that? What was the weekly?
I don't even want to say it out loud because if I ever get it, I'm going to...
Was it like 3,000 a week?
It was less than that.
Okay.
It was definitely going to be
more than that. In my head, it was
3,000
because it's fucking huge.
It's massive. But like for me, it's definitely...
Why haven't you taken the step to take it? What's stopping you?
Like financially right now, it's just not something I can do because I've got my house.
Yeah.
So
the fit out, like I think when I was just starting and being like, oh, I want my own salon, I was like, okay, so I'll have to pay $650 a week. Okay, that's so fine. That's a big salon too. You know, wouldn't always have to pay that. Yeah. That's a big one. But then if you've got a big space, you've got a big fucking fit out.
Yeah.
You got a big bill coming. So
Yeah.
you don't think about that when you're like, I just want a salon.
Yeah. And like when I look at the space that I want, because I'm obsessed with it.
It is.
I drive past
incredible.
it every day.
It is incredible, guys.
I know.
We took a photo of you and I was like,
know.
Helina, this photo one day we'll come back to and be like,
it might.
Year ago.
Maybe. We'll see. It's still available.
hey guys, so like, are you open to just like coming to agreement?
We'll see. Who knows what could hold for Bareface.
What would you do? Because guys, it is big. I think mine is 92 square feet, and that's big for me. All I have
This
is me.
one's 132.
It's 132. It is huge.
It's massive.
Would you want staff? Would you want to rent out rooms? Would you want to offer other stuff? Like, what could you potentially do in there?
I think for me, no staff. Sorry,
Okay.
sis. No. But I think and like renting a room too, I'm still not sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love, on the Sunshine Coast, there's not many like creative spaces.
For sure.
So
Are we all seeing Brittany Saunders make her coffee and creative
yes,
space?
we are seeing that.
I would die to have that on the Gold
That's
Coast.
huge.
It is beautiful.
That is massive.
Yeah.
But like how beautiful
But
is that?
there's nothing like that. There's places like that on the Gold Coast. I can pick about 5 of them. But on the Sunshine Coast, which is 2
Nothing.
hours away,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of one place that comes to mind.
There's 2 businesses that I found on Instagram recently that are similar, but they're very small. But for me, like I only need a room, and then this
Literally,
is what makes me come back to Helina. You're at home, stay at home kind of thing.
Because you're not paying rent there.
No,
You're paying your mortgage, but not rent. Like,
exactly,
it's fine.
and it's like I'm like my clients don't have an issue with coming to my house. Like,
does parking get annoying on the house?
Not really.
Right? Okay, good.
When I first came home, like when I was first started working from home, because I share a driveway, so like you can't drive down the driveway kind of
Don't you
thing.
fucking dare come down.
Yeah, so like you have to park at the front. So for
Yeah.
me, it was like I'd be doing like an eyebrows, and my next client would be driving down the driveway, and I'd be like, sorry, I just need to go and wave at my client to like go back. Because you know I have respect for my neighbors that are either side of me because I'm the middle. So I'm like I don't want them because they let me run my business from home. Absolutely no questions asked. Like
Good on them.
there's people constantly walking down their driveway at every hour of the day. So they're really cruisy. So I'm like, whatever I can do to help. But I'm kind of in like a newer kind of place. Like there's like 3 houses being built on my street.
Yeah,
So
busy.
there is like construction trucks, tradies, utes, everything. So like I get crabby at them.
Okay,
I'm
you get
like,
crabby at the dogs.
oh,
There's so many dogs around you.
I
She sent me a
literally-
video and she's like, these fucking dogs, shut the fuck up. I'm like, Helina, chill.
No, but they're so cute though, and I want a dog as well. So then I'm like,
You're like, it just can't bark.
Yeah, it has to be a mute. But anyways, that's probably one of the only shit things about having a home salon is you can't control what happens around you.
Yes.
You can't control if your neighbor is playing extremely loud music that bass
it's their
literally
house, baby.
shakes your ground. You can't control the dog going off at the mailman. Just little things like that, and it's like I get so irritated by things like that.
Especially when I try to focus and you're like, let me just be in the moment doing my art.
Especially like when it's like my window, because usually I've got the aircon on, so like the windows are closed and like I shut the door to the house, so it just feels like we're in like a room. But yeah, like when it's things like that you are physically out of your control, or like the weather is another thing because people have to walk down my driveway.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's all right. Bring an umbrella.
yeah, but
fine.
like I feel bad because I'm like, like come park in the carport, but then I get anxiety of people parking next to my car,
Right.
Because like I'm on a shit, like you have to do a big turn in, so
It's a lot.
and I've
Okay,
had my car
yeah.
hit before, and it was depressing and expensive. So I was like, you know what, no.
Out of
But-
the driveway, bring an umbrella. It's
But
fine.
I do love working from home, but commercial is definitely not out of the question for me. It's just I feel like my style
You're
keeps
comfy right
changing.
now. Yeah. I
I'm
love that.
comfy, but I've been comfy for very long, so I
Okay.
do need to like.
You're ready for something a little bit new and fresh.
I think so.
I love
yeah.
that.
Now
I
you've
love
got me
that.
thinking about that space.
I'm always like, Helina, what's next? Helina, what's new? Helina, what about new clients? What about closing your books? What about offering a new client fee?
Hold up, sis. I want to hear about the fit out on how much, like.
Oh, I was like, fuck, what
everyone
have
will
you
be listening, being like, "Excuse
How
me,
much should I-
like, I want to." Who cares about Helina's salon? We want to know about Shay's because I think we like in
I think
comparison.
we could do a whole episode on it
Should
because
we do like a proper comparison?
it was a lot.
Because like my
yeah.
floors costed me $300.
Yeah.
But
My floors cost me around 5,000.
Exactly.
1,000. Sorry.
I was
So
gonna
not
say.
500, 5,000.
So yeah,
The quick ballpark fee. That's what I wanted
Ball fee.
for the salon and doing the fit out. And for me, it wasn't even a really like rundown place. It was It was still
like,
intact.
yeah.
But it needed work. Looking at roughly 75, 80,000. And that was just like spend money, half of that.
Yeah.
No, I would say 60,000 of that I couldn't even get a tax write-off because you couldn't take it out of the salon. That's a whole other thing. I was like, woo, tax write-off. Taxman's like, hey, sorry, you can't get 60,000 of that back. And I was like, excuse me, what the fuck?
Sorry, what? I spent $900 on a couch. Like,
you mean I can't like tax ride these floors that I've just fucking laid down? Anyway, I could like ramble on that forever. We'll do a whole episode on that.
Okay, I like that.
But new clients. This is something we're very busy, both you and I. And have you ever thought about cutting the books?
Absolutely. You know I have.
Yeah.
Have you?
No.
But don't lie. You did.
What?
But then you heard that
books?
thing about like the
I was never going to close my books. It's always been like, it would be nice sometimes because like then you're like only getting the regulars. It's so lovely when you've got your regulars rocking up. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, like, yeah, I mean, closing books.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I don't know because it's like.
It's a tricky one.
It's terrifying.
I remember one of my biggest brow inspirations in the world said to me one day, because I sent her a DM, like, hi, fangirl moment. When you're busy, do you close your books? Like, think of probably the biggest brow artist in the world, and that's her.
Yeah.
And she said, don't be stupid. Introduce a new client fee. And I was like, what?
You're a genius.
What is a new client fee? And literally, ding. I will never close my books. I will just continue to increase my new client fee. It started at $5. So if you were a new client, you had to just press new client fee. You get a $5 fee added on. And that's just including your consultation and like to get into the brow club.
Yeah.
Then I got busy again. Okay. Up to my regular prices. We can come back to that. But up to the new client fee. Because I'll still have 4 new clients a week come in.
Easy. I think this week I've got about 8.
And I'm making probably $200 just of new client fees.
Yeah.
Just of the extra because it now sits around $20-$25. And that just continues to go up.
Yeah.
So I'll never close my books. If people want to come get their brows done by me and they want to get in the brow club, they got to pay a fee and then you're in. It's fine.
Definitely.
And it doesn't affect my regulars because they're still paying their normal fee.
Yeah.
They're in.
No, I definitely agree with that. That's what I've got new client. So because I use Timely. So basically when they go to book, is like new client in like bold
highlighted
right at the top.
If you're a new client, click on this stupid thing. When people don't, I'm like, I see them. I'm like, that's a new name. I'm like, excuse me, new client.
Yeah, and it's changing. But like with that, do you notify them? Because I send them a text message.
No. They'll get a notification to be like, it's been changed to a new client. I'm not hiding anything. Yeah.
Neither am I. But I just send like a courtesy message.
I used to. I don't have time for messaging people. I'll just tell them in their face.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, so I saw that we actually booked online as a regular. I do just have to include the new client fee. It's a one-time fee. And they're like, oh, that's so fine. No one's ever questioned it. Yeah. I have no problem saying or charging a new client fee because
should we whip up our new client fees right now?
I know mine off by heart, so I can.
Oh, damn.
I've got mine in my head.
Okay, show off.
Shut up. It's so funny because when you are wanting to up your price, like if you are busy, we would both recommend adding a new client fee and then just upping your prices, right?
Yeah.
It will be like a Sunday afternoon and I'll call Helina and be like, so I'm a bit bored. I'm a bit busy the next 2 weeks. I'm just going to put my prices up. And no one questions it.
Yeah.
Literally no one. I've not had one person be like, hey, so like.
I haven't had one. I mean, I haven't had anyone question it at all. I always
They don't notice it either.
That's what I mean. I always let them know that it is a once-off thing. But because with my online booking system, people pay 50% when they book.
Yes, same.
50% when they pay. So it's like, girl, it's only like $40-something.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
so,
fine.
and all my clients are like, oh, because they're like, have I paid? And I'm like, oh, just half. And then like I said, half.
Sweet, it's like basically free.
Literally, they're like, oh, that's so fair. Like that was like last pay.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of clients who like book so far in advance. And I'm like,
forget. I love when I go somewhere and I've already paid half. Or I've paid the full fee. I'm like, oh, this is free.
Literally.
I love it.
Okay, so my just brow lamination for a new client is $145. What's yours?
For a new client, I don't do just brow lamination. I just have the full shebang.
Oh, okay.
Don't ask me why. I just haven't been bothered to put a new one. But for wax, tint, and lamination, it's $159.
Okay.
For the whole shebang.
Well,
$20 new client fee.
Okay. My brow lamination dye is $155.
Yep.
And then brow sculpt and dye, mine's $80.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you always mess me up with dye. I say hybrid tint. Hybrid tint and a wax is, for a new client, $110. And then on the regular.
But
Sorry, what?
For a wax and dye.
Yeah.
Get it, queen.
They're like, that's my like, you're a lamy girl. I'm a high-ro girl. I'm a tint girl. We have our little things.
I love that. But like, I feel like as well, like you have to work with where you are.
Yeah.
Like you're on the Gold Coast. It's way more bougier than the Sunny Coast.
It's very popular. It's booming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like my sculpt and tint is 68.
Sculpt and tint. That's a wax and tint. Am I? Yeah. That is 79.
Yep. And then my just brow wax is 45.
55 for any client.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing though, and I think that's so
but
important.
Every area is so different.
But that's
so
what I mean.
Different.
Like there could be people in Sydney where your
oh
new
my God.
client prices are there.
Sydney's
regular.
crazy. Sydney's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have a client of mine who he lives in Sydney, and he always messages me like, "Please come to Sydney. Like I will pay. But like. For like a brow wax and like a dye or something, it's literally like 100
plus.
Something.
Yeah, it's crazy. But my starting prices for a wax and tint, I'm sure same as yours, $20. Give me a $20 note, done under the table.
And then we were
lamination, like $50.
We were like, $50. Like we were so excited.
Yeah,
and I remember
it just goes up. Yeah.
When I upped it up, I think my brow lamination went from $50 to $80.
That was I remember doing that and I was like, fuck,
I know.
This is a huge
I was like,
jump.
no one's going to do this. And brow, I'm not going to lie, it lulled out for a bit.
Yeah,
but then
it did. I thought it was disappearing, but we're back,
yeah,
baby.
we're back. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And then, I think I went from $50 to $80 to $100. And then now I'm between 30 and 50. So.
I think lamination as well. People forget how expensive the actual product itself is.
Oh my God. Not to mention that. And like when people are getting it done and they're like, how long does this last? I'm like, girl, I ain't going to see you for like 8-10 weeks.
Yeah. I'll see you in 2 months.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, wow.
Plus the timing it takes, like it's an hour.
It's an hour. And
like wax and tip for me is like 25, 30, get out. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Get out, sorry. Come back for like.
Don't fully leave.
Yeah.
Me. But yeah, like that's what I mean.
There's so many different things.
And like you see all those, I really wish I remembered the business that shared it. It was like an iceberg.
Yes.
Did you see that? And it was kind of like the top of the iceberg was like all the cool stuff that client sees, but then like underneath the water was like
it's like the rent, the prices, the
like
packaging,
GST,
so much,
like everything.
So much.
So yeah, I was just like, that is so interesting, and I feel like I only grew a respect for that since I owned a business.
Yes, once you see it laid out as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, okay, this is where my money's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I would, just last little thing before we move off from this topic.
Okay.
If you're booked out, if you've just done a new course, if you believe and you know your skills have improved greatly, if you're practicing every night, put your prices.
Those prices, baby.
Go. That's the time.
That's what I mean. And
if you booked out and you're bored on a Sunday, like us, put your prices up. It's fine. If you
add
booked,
that $5. Yeah. But that's the thing though, and it's like, know your worth.
Know your worth.
With anything. Like, know that you're good at what you do. Then if people love your work, they will still come to you. My prices have changed immensely over the last couple of years.
Last 6 months, look at it. I'm like,
yeah, but you still have the same clients. And like, that's what I mean. Like, you have to, I set my prices at what I would pay.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if like I'm getting like with my hair, lashes, spray tan, anything, I'm like, if it's good, I don't care.
The quality.
Yeah.
Hell
that's
yeah.
what I mean. So
hell yeah.
I feel like that's probably one of the biggest advice pieces to give to someone starting in any side of the industry.
Absolutely.
And if you're just starting out, and if you're just starting out and your work is freaking good, girl,
bump it up.
Bump it up.
I do a lot of training with new people. And if they're newbies, I'm like, always, this is a really good starting price. Let's look in the area that you're working in. But I've trained some people and they walk in and like they're fresh off the bat and they've got they've got an eye for it. And I'm like, girlfriend, you're charging. Like, anyway, I'm just letting you know this is what you're doing.
$100.
Yeah. Once these 3 days of training are over, this is what you're charging.
Yeah.
This is your worth. Like sometimes it just clicks straight away. Sometimes it takes people a bit more longer to kind of get their practice up, and that's so fine. But if you're like smashing out, if you're really happy with your shit that's going, charge it.
You know what's something that annoys me in the industry while we're on this topic?
What?
I feel like you know what I'm going to say.
No, I don't. You're looking at me with eyes.
When someone says, join the brow industry and make 5K a week.
I hate that. Don't join unless you love it. I'm sorry. Don't join for the money.
And babe, you ain't going to make $5,000 in a week when you first start. As good as you are.
Yeah.
I don't even make that in a week. Like.
I don't like, come do this course to make this much money.
Yeah, no. With anything.
With anything.
Like, I see nail places doing it, lash places doing it, brow places doing it.
It's
like
not
it's literally false advertisement.
We don't want those people in the industry.
I think
with so much love and respect when saying that. But it's just big already. It's growing already.
Yeah, but I just think there's so many other factors to it. And like if you're just joining for the money, then you're wasting your time, sis.
That's a bit controversial because I know people that's like their main advertising purposes. And I'm like, if it works for you, that's so great. But I just don't know how they can sell it like that because there's physically no way. People come back and be like, hey, I did your training. You said I was going to make X, Y, and Z. I'm not doing that.
I would be so curious to know.
Yeah.
Because I would do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, excuse me, I took your course.
Excuse me, I'm meant to be having 5K in my bank account right now and I don't.
No, that's not all the things that are the factors, but
it's just one of my little icks. When I see
we have so many little icks in the brow industry. We only share them with each other.
Yeah,
we could do a whole thing on just brow icks.
Brow icks.
Hey.
That could be fun.
Hey.
Maybe a little
like
real
straight
moment.
off the bat, my one is either super trimmed down brows or concealed eyelids. I'm like, nah, let it go.
Yeah. No, trim
like,
brows. 100%.
I like natural, so that's why that's my ick.
No, trim brows in general is bleh.
But
But like another ick for me. Okay, you ready?
Hit me.
It is when I see people's fingers in videos. You know, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
That's why I wear gloves.
Either have nails manicured or gloves.
Yeah. That's a big ick for me.
Yep.
Or like
Mine's when you're looking up at the nose, like on a filming angle, and I'm like, oh, you can move the camera. We don't need to see up her nostrils.
What's one more?
There's so many things.
Probably like when it's like a beautiful aesthetic, but like the products are all grossed and used.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's
or there's shit in the background.
Yeah.
Or like there's no clean space.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But like I'm like I got the Buff Browz new palette and I haven't touched it yet because I'm like I want to get content of it.
It is crisp. Yeah, and then get out the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally though, we do this shit for content.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Same with like jelly masks. I literally said this in my course the other day. I was like, make your jelly mask look pretty. And like clean lines.
Did you see what I uploaded this morning?
No, what did you upload?
It was like a jelly mask like application around a lammy.
Nice.
And I had
was it crisp?
Yeah, and
of course
I even had I can never pronounce the brand Panemorfi.
Yeah, who knows?
Those guys,
them?
They complimented my application, and I was like, "Thank you," like because I put a lot of effort into that.
Because you want it to look satisfying and pleasing to the eye.
I was like, "Thank you."
The shit we do for content,
literally.
Helina, this is going to be like an hour-long episode.
Yeah, right.
We're in.
You guys are probably sick of hearing our voices.
I feel like we haven't even touched on half of the stuff we want to say. There was like 5 more dot points, so we can definitely come back and do a part 2.
I really like we want to do a part 2 of the comparison of how you like. I feel like a lot of people want to know like a breakdown of your actual cost for your salon.
Oh, fit out. I'll bring out my notes.
Because I know how much your taps were, babe, and the door handles and stuff. Like I've seen the invoices. I was like, okay, Queenie.
I'm very transparent, and I'll
I think
be
that's
happy
great. Yeah.
to bring them all out.
I can whip out the 4 invoices it took me to make my brow salon too if you want.
But we do need to thank today's sponsors. We have Buff Browz and Bella Beauty. They go hand in hand. You know that Buff is now stocked at Bella.
Yeah.
Buff and Bella. I love that they're just bees.
You know what? I wanted to say I was having a bad brow day today. Like it just wasn't happening for me today. And I was like, of course, it's the first day that we're filming.
Yeah. Like shit's actually on camera.
And then I just whipped out my concealer palette from Buff Browz because you bet I've got my own for personal use.
Done.
And I just carved them out and I was like, life is
Carving
better.
the brow. It takes like an extra 5 minutes, but it does the work.
Worth it. Definitely.
Yes.
So love them.
And Bella, they've got their new space now, their huge warehouse. We all know this. We are like begging for a party to happen there.
Right?
It's like a opening. I don't think they're willing for a party, but we're ready. And Bella, if you're listening, we are excited to come see you.
But Bella Beauty has given us a discount code again.
We have a discount code, and this can be used on Buff. Am I right?
Let's confirm that.
Okay, we'll get back to you on that one. Yeah, give it a go.
So Bella Beauty Professional has been gorgeous enough to let our listeners have another discount code.
One. And if they used the first one last season, can they use this one?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Only once off though.
Stock your cart
off. So you want to do your big order.
You want to get all the new products from Buff.
Definitely.
You want to get the new Inlei that I'm loving and I'm making sure everyone gets.
But also the new concealer palette from Buff Browz.
Yes.
You need that. The diversity that is in
the brushes as well.
Yes, love the brushes. So so many things to get.
So many things. Go for a shop.
The discount code is Shay.
Just like I need to see the numbers. BFN15.
And add that in when you are finishing up your...
Fill the card up, baby.
Yeah, girl, get it in there.
And please send us any little screenshots. Tag us on what you're getting.
That.
I love an unboxing.
And I love when
tag
people
us,
are like
tag
using
Buff and
something and they're
Belly.
literally... Belly.
Tag Belly.
But they're like, Helina and Shay made me do it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I love that.
I love that I'm making you spend money. Use the discount wisely.
Use the discount code wisely, guys. Once off code BFN15.
15. I'm just like, BFN 15.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm seeing it. All right, my loves. We will chat to you next time.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Bye.
Bye.